Greetings. This is the Trade Blast for March 25th, 2020. This is Greg for Teslafaninsight. Thanks for joining us once again. This is our Patreon-focused daily blast during trading days. And we want to thank you for being a Patreon supporter. And we also wanted to note to you that for the top level folks who are in the trading space, we are releasing trading positions that we're holding for folks that are in that space. Also wanted to thank our subscribers. I want to thank you for liking and subscribing. We typically don't have this many trade blasts that are actually publicly allowed, if you will. And the reason for that is that there's some things we can cover on a limited basis that you're not allowed to cover on a public basis. So today I wanted to cover the fact that we're in probably one of the most amazing, interesting, different days in the history of the United States when it comes to the stock market. As you know, the bazooka has passed with the President and the Senate. The net result of this is that the stock market is screaming. In theory, it could hit 3,000 up today because of the approval of this stimulus package. So we're a Tesla-focused channel, and we'll look exclusively at that. So I had all these title ideas in mind. One of them that we came up with was we could just call this factory shutdown. Gigafactory shutdown, no problema, stock up $100. So I was fascinated by this entire situation because this, as we've shared in previous trade blasts, we're actually part of a kind of a trading group. And so we have these really interesting discussions about what's going on, why, etc. So when you're trained on classical investing, one of the things you're taught in value investing is to avoid doing anything that's shorter in time frame than 6 months or even a year, because when you're on those time horizons, all the processes of your investments can take place and it's a lot less risky. The problem with this whole thing is if you watch Tesla stock over the last 6 or 8 months, you'll notice that when a stock doubles in a month, that's an entire 3 years worth of return on that stock. So you really kind of have to develop a different process for how you manage that investment, because you're getting in 1 or 2 months what most people don't get for 1 or 2 years on their stock. So hence why we've been doing trade blasts, hence how we've blended this in with traditional value investing in terms of how the investors might think through things, etc. So where we are right now is kind of in the, I want to call it the insane in the membrane zone. So I'm sort of part of a trading group. I'm part of actually a few of them, and everybody, that's trading with large amounts of dollars sort of has a different philosophy that I've found. It's really interesting to get different perspectives. One of the interesting challenges is that in the investment space, there's a concept called a market. And so what a market is you have a difference of opinion between different people about the value of an asset. So in theory, one group is going to say this is worth X, another group is going to say it's Y. And so one of the challenges is if you have a trading group and it's large enough, you'll have enough people in every direction on that same stock. So I did a trade yesterday, and I want to call it a perfect trade because I was able to straddle Tesla at 500. And what I mean by straddle is I sort of had it figured out where if Tesla fell by 50 points, I make money 100%. If Tesla rises by 50 points, I make money 300 or 400%. So I love that trading box that was created because as the stock was moving around, I got a chance to sort of build it out. And it's really exciting when you get a chance to be in the markets and you know there's going to be a lot of movement, but you don't have the risk of not having one or the other side covered, which is kind of the trade that I was able to put in yesterday and I was excited about. Now, the bad part about that trade is that with the bazooka coming, there are several people in the trading group who are just making an absolute killing. And I want to congratulate them because, hey, you guys deserve it. You took the risk and it's happening. So, as you know, today the stock price is up, the market is up. You know, I asked myself this, and I don't have the answer to this, but the question is, how can a company whose main factory has been shut down be up 25% in one day? Really good question. And I'm not going to answer that because the answer is going to come as we go over the next few days. So let's get back to our general discussion of the idea that this is really a trade blast. So as you know, Tesla is going to be up $60 today. If you want to participate and you're on the options side, Tesla has a habit, what I call a $100 habit. So when they move, they tend to move 50 to 100 points in a day. So if you're seeing that boost pre-market of $60, I think it still actually has another 40 to go on the upside, and then they'll probably pull back. So if you missed out on the run, you still have time to grab a little bit and enjoy. I know your next question is, after this boom happens over the next 24 to 48 hours, what's going to happen? Well, on the investment side, you could see it go up, you could see it go down as a straight investment. But at this point, we're kind of just enjoying this explosion in price and saying, wow, that's really great. It's great the money is flying out. It's great if you can get it and find a way to keep it in your account versus it sort of filtering out once people come to their senses. But you got to admit that that is a lot of money to have out there and just sitting, idly by on the deck, 100 points or 20% gain in your stock price. So bottom line, we're definitely obviously expecting a strong opening market, and we're expecting it to last. The line that's buzzing in my brain from one of the folks that I trade with today is the concept that says when you're in a trading situation or a trade blast situation, the ultimate company fundamentals really don't matter. You're trying to get in, get a certain percentage of the points from the rising or falling stock, and get out. The way it was put to me was to skeet and skedaddle. The whole idea being to participate, get a portion of the ROI that's there, and get out. And that's kind of a trading situation. And what you're looking for is a place where you actually have a stock that's in motion that allows you to get in and get out doing trades, be it stock or options. But when you have a stock like Tesla and it's almost a guaranteed 50-point move on the day, with certain stock instruments, all you need is 32-point movement for the day to get between 200 and 300% return. So one of the early conversations I've had about Tesla, i.e. over the last 3 or 4 months ago, was that we're kind of in a trading situation with Tesla, and it's not as much an investment situation. So using instruments like puts and calls on the option side is a really good idea to sort of manage how well you're doing in the space. Sort of basically my approach, attitude, working on right now is to simply sell off the stuff that I own currently because it's way in the money. And, if it hasn't gone too crazy, sort of nibble at a couple of things that are out there and sort of call it a day. One of the strangest parts, I think, of trading, especially stocks like Tesla, is when you're an investor, you want to develop an opinion, maintain that opinion over time. When you're doing options / trading situations, having an opinion for too long is very bad for the health of your portfolio. So I kind of bring this up because basically for me right now, I really thought Tesla would fall on the fundamentals related to what was happening at the factory. As you can see, over the last 2 days, stock is going to be up almost $200 and 25% on the value of the company. So this is my point, is that yes, you could have some valuable fundamental analysis that you understand and that you've mastered. The challenge with that, though, is that when you're in a trading zone and there's a lot of money to be made in the trading, it might require modification of your process to embrace what's going on. So I think that there's a back end to this. And the question was, are we done on the updraft, or what's going to happen? Two possibilities. Number one, the stimulus is embraced by the market, executed, and we're kind of done. Stock price falls back. Second option is a 3-day rule in action here. Now, will that occur? I'd have to say I really think it does. I think the 3-day rule is playing based on how big the news is and the fact that people with huge amounts of money to manage have to manage themselves efficiently or get fired. So with Tesla sitting kind of in the midpoint of its trading range, once the big institutions on Friday start getting access, and Monday, to the data that sits behind the stimulus package, I think you could actually see Tesla tie on another 100-200 points over the next 4 or 5 trading days because of the fact that the big dogs don't have an opportunity to get on the movement of the markets, movement of Tesla, as fast as it's happening currently. So keep an eye out for this. It might be something to plan and be ready to manage for. I have to admit that I'm jumping off here because this actually is supposed to be a trade blast, not a full show, and I'm sort of dragging it longer than it should go, but we appreciate the opportunity to be interacting with our viewers, and we appreciate all the hellos that you guys have put forward. And if you're an owner of the Tesla stock or options, etc., congratulations. You are having a very nice day, and enjoy the cash that's flowing into your account, as will I. Any rate, look forward to your comments, posts. This is Greg for Teslafaninsight. Tschüss, German, au revoir, French, Lehit, Hebrew, Hoda, Hafez, Farsi. In Jamaica, we say enough respect, Walkwood, Hedgedo, Swedish, Strasvicha, Russian, Ni hao ma, Chinese, and Namaste for our friends in India. Thanks once again. We'll look forward to our next conversation. Thanks for the comments, Jerry. I saw others of you there, but as you know, when we're in show, I try to sort of stay focused on topic at hand, but we really look forward to post-trade blast comments that you guys might have about what's going on. Have a great day, and bye for now.